Homegrown startup beauty brands are on a roll in India. Last week, Foxtale, a D2C skincare company, secured an $18 million funding in its Series B round. Meanwhile, news also broke out that the Deepika Padukone-led 82 Degree East is planning to raise around $6 million from new and existing investors. Scores and scores of new age skincare and beauty brands have cropped up since the pandemic, and all of them harp on the science of skincare, and their whole appeal is transparency. Transparency about the ingredients that go into each of their products. If you're a regular listener of Daybreak, you'll remember that a month or so ago, my co host Rahil and I had dedicated an entire Friday special episode to this. Now, among these new age brands, one that really stands out is the Minimalist. It launched around the end of 2020, and within a span of 8 months, it built a 1,000 crore rupee business. And what's even more surprising is that the brand has remained in the green, meaning profitable from the very first month itself. And that's not all. Here is the most interesting part. You see, the Minimalist is an active ingredients based skincare company. So it sells things like niacianamide for brightening, retinol for fine lines, vitamin C, glycolic acid, salicylic acid. You get the drift. Its products are named after these ingredients. But for years, legacy brands like Ponds and Loreal have also been selling products with similar ingredients. The only difference being is that they either did not launch them in India or they kept the name of these ingredients hidden away in tiny font at the back of the product. Minimalist came around and broke that mold. And now, seeing the success of brands like Minimalist, legacy brands are rethinking their strategy. In today's episode, we take a closer look at how all of this is playing out. Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host Snigdha Sharma, and I don't chase the news cycle. Instead, every day of the week, my colleague Rahil Philippos and I will come to you with one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Monday, the 17th of June. So, what is the secret behind the Minimalist success? My colleague, the Ken reporter Nuha Bobre, spoke to Anish Shet, the co-founder of Dr. Shet's, a dermaceutical skincare company. He said it is nothing new really. Minimalist is a high-quality brand that comes at a low price, which is what Indians love. So yeah, it hit the bullseye. It came in at the right time, at the right place, with the right kind of messaging. This was at a time when skincare was all about natural ingredients. And that is because no beauty and personal care company was ready for a conversation about the chemicals that they were putting in their products. Plus, a big myth that chemicals are bad got busted to indicate that not all chemicals are actually bad. We spoke about this extensively in the special episode of Daybreak that I mentioned earlier. I'll link it to the show notes of this one. So, when Minimalist launched its products during the pandemic, the market was ready for it. Nuha spoke to the co-founder Mohit Yadav, and he told her that initially they felt that it would take a lot of time to create awareness and educate people about actives in skincare. But there were a large number of customers already ready. So that 0 to 1 journey was not very challenging for the Minimalist. The company also has the advantage of controlling prices of most of its products in the 300 to 700 rupees range because it manufactures them in-house. Priyanka Agarwal, who was a brand manager for L'Oreal, told us how a L'Oreal cannot do this because it imports its products. She also pointed out how Minimalist success has also got a lot to do with the rigorous quality checks that the company conducts as compared to other brands. In fact, Yadav told the Ken that the Minimalist works with a 25-member research and development team. These are people with prior experience from L'Oreal and Estee Lauder. They invest 2 to 5% of their business in R&D. The company has one manufacturing facility in Jaipur and it is currently developing a second one. In the next segment, we talk about what legacy brands are up to. Stay tuned. Let's take Fair and Lovely for example. Hindustan Unilever, the FMCG giant, introduced it to the Indian market as early as 1975. While niacianamide, which is also known as vitamin B3, was the product's main ingredient, the packaging said advanced multivitamins. They did not want to name the chemicals because people just assumed that they're bad. But even now, when things have changed, Fair and Lovely, which now goes by Glow and Lovely, still has the words advanced multivitamin printed on it, and not the active ingredients. But the shifting consumer preference from natural ingredients to active ones like retinol and vitamin C, and the success that brands like Minimalist have seen in India, have prompted legacy players to adapt to the market trends. Some have resorted to changing the packaging of their products like Ponds. Even L'Oreal, the world's largest beauty and cosmetics company, doubled down on the Indian market with the launch of its dermatological beauty brand called CeraVe in November last year. Meanwhile, it was also selling the French brand La Roche-Posay, known for being a dermatological skincare brand in India. It also relaunched its luxury skincare arm Lancôme in 2022 because of the demand for premium skincare brands. Neutrogena, which is owned by Johnson & Johnson, upgraded its popular moisturizer to add hyaluronic acid last year. Olay from Procter & Gamble also introduced products like the Regenerist Retinol 24 Night Cream in its premium range. HUL or Hindustan Unilever launched Acne Squad, an active ingredient-based product, in October 2022 and Novology, a dermaceutical brand, in May 2023. But being a legacy brand has its own disadvantages. Someone from Hindustan Unilever, who did not want to be named, told us that the company is so big and so bureaucratic in nature that instead of taking a speedy approach like other D2C brands, they end up always being late to the party. So, what can these big brands do? Legacy brands can actually take notes from what India's digital-first beauty company Honasa Consumer has done with its more than $1 billion worth Mamaearth. Instead of diluting Mamaearth, which has always marketed its products as being toxin-free and natural, Honasa built brands like Aqualogica and Derma Company and acquired Dr. Sheth's in May 2022. This was to cater to specific skin concern and target this particular demographic. The company also leveraged the Mamaearth distribution network to penetrate these brands offline. In the 6 months to September 2023, nearly 13% of Honasa's revenue came from its new products like salicylic acid serum and face wash, among others from the actives-based skincare category. Meanwhile, Minimalist needs to scale and grow more categories, and that is exactly what it's doing. It has plans to open 100 exclusive beauty outlets across the country by next year to create an omni-channel presence. It is already available in offline stores like Health and Glow across India and has started expanding through Minimalist Global in other markets like the US, the UK, Southeast Asia, and the Gulf. So, is Minimalist eyeing to be India's next Hindustan Unilever or L'Oreal? Mohit Yadav definitely believes so.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of The Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted by Snigdha Sharma and edited by Rajiv CN.